Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video, or rather another episode of Immigrant Life in Germany. And with me here today is the Phoebe Way of YouTube, Instagram. I don't know if you're on Instagram, right? But I don't follow you on Instagram. But
Yes.
yeah, I follow her on YouTube and TikTok, and she's an amazing content creator in Germany. I actually got hooked by one of her videos where you were talking about your experience about like how you moved to Germany as a kid and all that. I was like, yes, I need that gist on my channel. So I'm glad to be today to give us all of that tea. But let me not spoil it for you guys. But here, Phoebe, please introduce yourself to the gang.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Kelechi.
Thank you for
Welcome to her
joining me.
channel and hello to the viewers. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Phoebe, as Kelechi said, and I live in Germany. I've been in Germany for the past year. November will make it 20 years. 2 decades. Long and short at the same time. And as a Black girl growing up, I've just decided to talk about things that I experienced and also just make life in Germany easier for our fellow African foreigners living here. Yeah,
Oh, that's
that's just a passion of mine. Even when I try to take a break from content creating, something would still ginger me to make content.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
That's good. So, I mean, your moving here as a kid was with family, obviously, right? Like with your
Yes.
parents and your siblings. Okay, that's interesting. And I mean, how has it been for you trying to thrive as a woman of color, since, or rather, a child of color, Esma, as well? First off,
Hmm.
as you moved into Germany, like, what have been your most significant challenges, and how are you able to overcome these, especially growing up in the school system in Germany?
Okay, so growing up in Germany as a young girl was not easy. It's made me question myself a lot of times, and it made me identify and define myself multiple times. It pushes you to ask yourself certain questions like, who am I? What makes me? What breaks me? Which society do I want to belong to?
Mm,
Which society do I fit in? These are questions that I was confronted with almost every day, almost every day. And I think as a child, one thing that I learned was that knowledge is subjective.
mm,
Knowledge is individual. So I'm originally from Ghana. So my background is Ghana, Nigeria, and Togo. But I was
wow.
born in Ghana. I grew up in Ghana.
Okay.
And growing up in Ghana, thanks to my background being so mixed, okay, we had family members from Hausa, Muslims, whatnot, Ghana. Even in Ghana, we're so mixed. I have cousins who are from Ahanta and everything. So for us, being different wasn't an issue.
Mm,
There was never us and them because we're
mm,
all them.
yeah, yeah.
There was never any difference. But in Germany, I was forced to see us and them, and also the other Ghanaians and Nigerians, especially Nigerians and Ghanaians were the people that I was, involved most of the time. They were also giving this us and them thing. So
Mm,
going to school, I also saw that us and them continuing. So it was, even when your friends were trying to be like, we don't like the other friends, but you, Phoebe, I like because I know you. You
okay.
know, those were different. Like, if I start to talk, I would even be all over the place because I would have. Okay, let me try to structure it. So
Okay.
I started with knowledge is subjective, knowledge is individual. So growing up in Ghana, there's certain things that you have to know in Ghana. For example, in Ghana, to ask you, there was one course we had called current affairs. So to
Mm-hmm.
ask you who is the current president in Ghana, who is um, the MP, the member of parliament for sanitation or for education and everything. And because they would ask you that every morning, you knew them by heart, and you always knew when there was something that had changed. But in Germany, I was new, so everything I knew from Ghana didn't count here. Which Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know?
What is that?
And I remember one time in Latin class, ancient Latin, we were learning the language Latin, but we were also learning about the demography, like how the Romans moved across Europe.
Okay.
So there were like certain places that you would find like Roman remains and everything. And I remember the word Lazen.
Okay.
Lazen is a river in Paris, definitely in Strasbourg and everything.
Mm,
So I saw the word lasagne and I didn't know that it was French. I said lasagne. Come and see laughter.
In the class. Oh my
And I
god.
was so pissed because obviously it is like you knowing that, like me in Ghana knowing that KY is ch in tree or in fancy and HY is ch.
Hmm.
You, because you grew up here, that is what you know. And these are all things that separate you from the regular German kid. And German kids were also very independent. German kids are raised to be independent. So even in your relationship, for me, I'm in an intercultural relationship with a German. So even in our relationship, I see that his upbringing is way more different than mine. It's just differs. Okay. They are trained to be bold. They are trained to stand on their feet. But
Yeah.
for us, we are trained to respect our parents till the end of time. He can tell his parents no today and nothing will
Nothing
happen.
will happen.
But me,
You have to think about that that you want to say, like, think about the
yes, and
consequences.
I'm telling you, and even today, after my mom's passing, there are things that I still feel I cannot do because this was how I was trained.
Hmm.
Okay, it won't happen to a German. No, 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 no. He has been trained to be independent in his thinking. And even in the extended family, we have like the German part of the family, we have kids asking questions, debating with adults. I'm like, who born you? Because in Africa, kids are not seen, they are heard. Or sometimes they're not even heard, they are not seen. You know, all these things, these cultural shocks and different societal values were challenges for me.
Hmm.
So as I was saying before, I asked myself, what makes Phoebe? What breaks Phoebe? And I treated the culture as the buffet. So I take from the Ghanaian culture what fits me. I take from the Nigerian culture what fits me. I take from the German culture what fits me, and I rock with it. So I'm the last person to condemn someone's culture or someone's way of doing things
Mm-hmm.
because I do what fits me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I mean, I can't even imagine. And this was like talking about 20 years ago. Like, it wasn't even like immigrants weren't even as much as they are in Germany. Black
Yes.
immigrants aren't as much as they are.
Yes.
Like, how was it as well in the neighborhood and all? Because I watch movies where, I mean, depicted to be like back in the day, right? Where black families come into white neighborhoods and all. How was it like for you in that regard?
Yes. It was basically just like that. So today, I was actually thinking about that. So when I first came, we were the only black family in the place.
Okay.
Later on, I found out there was another German Ghanaian family,
Mm.
but I would go to school. It was just us.
At least you
Even when I
found
went to
people.
gymnasium,
Mm.
I was the only black girl for years till my brother joined me, and then we were the only black kids.
Wow.
Okay, so we were used to being the odd ones. We look different, and I think it's also made me kind of very, what's the opposite of self-aware? Like I'm no more self-aware. Like I see myself as part of this society. You might think I don't blend in, but I blend in, my dear. You, yes.
Yeah.
I I don't feel like, oh, because I'm black.
Like the
Because
color
even
of
if,
your skin doesn't matter.
no, I don't see any no, I don't see any limitations, restrictions. I had to teach myself that. And I remember 2 weeks ago, I was walking on the street and this older man in his Mercedes was wrong parking on this wrong spot. Before he'd be like, oh, he's German. What do I said? Sie wissen beide, dass die gleich kommen, gern mit dem Ticket. And he said, ja, aber ich wollte noch schnell zu meinem Grab. I'm like, zu ihrem Grab? Sie sind doch nicht etwa ein Geist. And then, and then he was like, nein, 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 meine Eltern liegen drin und ich will dann später auch rein. Und deswegen muss ich dann auch sagen, oh, okay, ich dachte schon. Vielleicht deswegen haben sie gedacht, sie wären unsichtbar. No.
Mm.
But before, the younger people would have never done that.
Wouldn't have done that, yeah.
Mm-mm. But I realized that the more you see yourself as co-equal, the normal
The
people
more
will
that,
also see
yeah,
you as the co-equal.
exactly, yeah. I mean, they see you
Yes,
how you see yourself at the end of the day, really.
yes,
Like, one thing that, with regards to this, I would also say that Germans are Anyway, in a nutshell, yeah, the if you make yourself sort of if you make yourself relevant, would I use the word relevant? No, not relevant is not a word. But yeah, if you make yourself like if you register your presence, I mean, how do I say this? I mean,
Make your presence
make your
felt
presence
and
felt. Thank
make
you.
yourself seen.
Thank you. Once you make yourself seen, they would see you as well. That's the truth. But if
Exactly.
you stay hiding all the way behind, they would see you as, oh, that one, So that's really,
Mhm.
I can relate to what you just said with regards to that.
Before, there were not even that many African stores.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now African stores are even online. You have much better access to African foods. Even on, you can just open a TikTok live and somebody's
Yeah,
selling African food stuff.
yeah.
And it
Tell
wasn't
you where
like that
to
because
find,
we,
I'll tell you where to find something.
yes, yes. So we had an African store and we
Okay.
had a big clientele. Like it was crazy. And even then, we thought the clientele was big. So Africans started coming in from Italy. We were overwhelmed.
Wow. What city
We
was
were
that?
overwhelmed.
What city?
This is Stuttgart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is Stuttgart. So we were overwhelmed at that time. And that was 2013, 14, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when the first asylum seekers from Italy were coming in, or not just, but just foreigners coming. Not all of them were asylum seekers though, but a lot of, especially Nigerians and Ghanaians were coming in from Italy. And today, you just have African stores in almost every city around Stuttgart. So there's one in Zuffenhausen. Even Zuffenhausen has two African stores. And
Wow.
Zuffenhausen is north of Stuttgart. It's a suburb of Stuttgart, but they have
Mhm.
two. Okay, and Reutlingen, I believe, has one big one as well. Tübingen has one. Nürtingen has one, and it wasn't like that before. Before, all those people in Nürtingen, they had to drive all the way to Stuttgart.
Oh,
People in Reutlingen had to drive all the way to Stuttgart to us, and it was just like three African stores that time.
at the
But
time.
now, in addition to these three, there are other ones,
There are a lot of,
and
wow.
then in other cities.
Wow.
So it wasn't like that before. No. Sometimes you'd be so excited to see another black person, you'd just be nodding.
I know, right? But did you guys have
Yeah.
some sort of, I mean, when people started coming, did you guys have some sort of community and all that? I mean, black community
Oh
forming.
yes.
Okay, nice.
Oh yes. So
And
I think before, because they were not that many, it was easier for them to form this community. They even have structures. So
mm,
I know for Ghanaians that Ghanaians had the Ghana Union, they had the Ashanti Union, they had the Bronga Hafu Union. So these are the most represented,
okay.
sorry, and even the Ewa Union as well.
Mm,
The most represented ethnic groups from Ghana in Germany. So
mm,
the Ashantis, the Bronga Hafus, the Ewes. And I think the Fantis also had the union in Stuttgart, and then the General Ghana Union.
mm,
And then there was UGAG. UGAG was I think, the Union of Ghana Unions in Germany as well. They also had a rep in Stuttgart. So those were the unions. And then for the Nigerian side, so they still had them. I think one of them even started, like, they founded the group in our store that was called the Circle of Friends.
mm.
So, but that was mainly with Igbos from that time, Anambra and I think Imo State
Interesting.
mostly. And I think somebody was from Abia. But yeah, they it started coming up.
Mm.
And I think there's also an Igbo union, or let me say, yeah, it's FI, also in Stuttgart, yeah.
Nice, interesting. So,
But they keep growing, yeah.
they definitely keep growing as far
Hmm.
as I mean, as far as being immigrants in Germany is concerned. Like Africans, they know how to do all the coordinations here. Like I belong to one, the one I
Yes.
told you about previously, but yeah, I wouldn't go into that right now. So,
Hmm.
how easy was it for you to make friends, like generally, both German friends and friends with immigrants way back as a kid?
So making friends in the first year was tough.
Mm,
So in the first year, I was in the Vorbereitungsklasse. Every other person apart from my brother was Russian. So my friend was my brother. And then
mm,
my brother went to Grundschule. After 3 months, I was in Hauptschule. I tried, making connections, but they were just different. It was a village life, basically. Mannheim is a village. And then we came to Sindelfingen. And in Sindelfingen, I went to the gymnasium there. And that was where things got a bit better. But I would say that though I had friends out in school, I still felt like I was lacking something because at age 12, you already built your, let me say, foundation of what makes you happy and what kicks you. So there was certain kind of music that up to date I don't find. Ich finde da zu keinen Draht. I can't find any connection to rock music. I can't find any connection to German pop music. Once in a while, I would listen to a song. I'd be like, oh, I love. One thing about German songs, like the German pop, is if you have one with great lyrics, they are really deep. That I can listen to, but I can't. Well, yeah, I used to listen to. Well, he's cancelled now, but somebody like Xavier Naidoo. I loved his songs because his love songs were so beautiful. You can put his love songs on a Ghanaian high life rhythm, and they would pop. Like it would
Right.
just be wow. You
Okay.
know, the text was just beautiful. I think you should have to go and look for Ich kann nix, das so schön ist wie du.
No, never
The
heard.
text or like the lyrics of that song is just beautiful. So I was very particular in my ways already, and that also kind of separated me from my German counterparts. And yeah, they had also already formed their cliques. No matter which class I came to, I was too late. So I believe even now, I still have connections with my classmates from Ghana, and I don't have any with my classmates from Germany from
Wow.
high school.
After this,
Yes,
well,
yes.
it's really very difficult to break into German circles. It's very difficult.
No, it's not difficult for me. I break everywhere. I'm a hybrid,
Okay.
but it's difficult for me to maintain them.
Oh, really?
And probably it's because of the kind of person I am. I am not the kind of friend who will text you every month because you're not my girlfriend, you're not my boyfriend. I beg. You're not my romantic partner. But if there's a topic for us to talk about, we'll
Okay.
talk about it. But I am not, you know how there are some friends who check on each other every day, will be on phone 24/7. I am not that kind of friend.
Mm.
So if you are that kind of friend, you feel neglected by me. And it's not really that I really love you, but
Mm.
I just can't
It's not
do it.
just
But when
you.
I see you after 2 weeks, girl, I'll squeeze the life out of you. That's the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
And German friendships, those days in school, they thrived on that. But then a time came where I was just more comfortable in my African bubble, I would say, because that was where I found solace.
Mm.
Okay. It was hard enough for me learning the language. It was hard enough for me adjusting and everything. I think at some
Rachel.
point,
Yeah.
I believe at the age 16, 17, 18, I was gelaugt. I was just exhausted. I felt drained. Okay. And I didn't have any more energy. And that times I was going through a very difficult time. My parents were separating, divorcing, and I just didn't even have time to say I'm thinking of friends. Because friends would be like, oh, let's go bowling, let's go swimming, let's go this. I just wanted to go home and be with my mom, spend time with my mom. And I think that also played a role in me not being able to foster these friendships and, you know, solidify them. Because I believe some of them are still cool. Um, with some, we still follow each other on social media with my German friends, yes. But deep friendship, I wouldn't call it that. I do have Ghanaian friends. One I met 2005 here that I'm still with friends today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we even talked on phone yesterday when I was driving back from work. So normally when I'm driving, I'll be like, okay, let me check on her and see how she's doing because she's a mother now. So obviously I'm the one who has more time, so I would check on her. But yeah, such a person I'm still friends with her,
Okay.
and she understands the kind of person that I am. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
it wasn't. Yeah, it was easy for us. We fight and make up. We fought a lot, but we're still friends.
of course. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, friendships have their hurdles and everything, but I
Hmm.
am that kind of person too that if I'm your friend, I would probably want to check up on you every other time, but every other day,
Yeah.
no. I'm learning that there are better things to do with my time than do that, right? Like I could just write you a message. Like I'm the kind of person
Hmm.
that would ordinarily want to call. But some people, especially Germany, just has a way of making people withdraw into their shells, so to say. Like they rather not talk on the phone, just text and everything. And I've actually learned it right now. Like if you don't show me that you were a calling person as well, I'll just, hold my own and we just do the
Hmm.
texting. So yeah, I can relate to where you're coming from. Can you share some of your most rewarding experiences, your high points, highlights, your successes ever since moving to Germany? I mean, despite the initial hurdles that you faced.
Which one am I going to say now?
There are a lot, Abby.
I think I've gotten so used to living in Germany that it's just normal. But I think one of my happiest moments was when I got sworn in as an interpreter.
Hmm.
Um, I really enjoyed that day.
Oh, wow.
I really enjoyed that day. I ate like mad. I
You're a foodie.
I am a born. See, you see these cheeks? I wasn't born with these. I
Oh, wow.
built them.
You do today.
No, but um, um, like when I think of the highlights, I think it's also because I'm a very family oriented person. So most of my highlights are within the family.
Mm.
And probably someone will say, "Oh, the day I got my German passport." Ah, I think one of my happiest days was the day my mom and dad got divorced. Yes, it was July 2012 because it was enough of the wahala. I was like, English, ciao.
Wow. No way.
I was like, English, Mama, wir sind frei. English. My mom was trying to. I said, don't cry.
Oh.
We'll find you a new boo. Hey,
No.
as if this mother. Yeah, for me, most of my highlights were around. Also, I
Family.
think also thinking back, this was one very significant moment, and it was very very funny because we woke up that day and everybody of us, each one of us was wearing white. My mom was wearing white jeans. My brother was wearing white jeans. I was wearing white top. We were like, why are we wearing white to the court? You know. So when I think about it, maybe because my mom has passed as well, but when I think about it, I'm like, that was actually a very happy day for us.
Mm.
It was that those times. My mom had just bought a brand new car. It was those times were good. Oh yes, whenever we moved to a new apartment that I really like, those are high
Mm.
moments as well. Because
Mm.
apartments and housing situation in
Tell me
Germany,
about it. It's all for the week,
mm,
definitely. So yes, that's
no,
definitely a high
no.
point. I mean, having to find a house. I know someone currently who is house hunting, and it is not funny. But yeah, how would you say your career has progressed since you moved to Germany? What kind of challenges would you say that you've encountered? What kind of opportunities have you also encountered that have like launched you to where you are? Especially talking about your career as a wie heißt das?
Don't
Dolmetscherin.
mention now. I think I'm an interpreter because I moved to Germany,
Mm.
and I'm still. Let me say this: if I had been in Ghana, I probably would have become a lawyer or a journalist
You have that
because I love literature. Like I still love reading. So I love languages.
Mm.
So being someone from this very multicultural background, I was automatically a polyglot. So my grandma made sure we all speak her Delta Igbo. We up to date. When they call me now, they look KJ. Oh, and even when you forget something, they'll be like, hey, yellow food, I don't low food. You cook on cook.
Is that your
Oh, so
maternal
bam. They'll
grandma
be like,
or your paternal
come
grandma?
again?
Is that your maternal grandma or your paternal grandma?
Yeah, maternal.
Oh,
Maternal.
nice.
Delta babes are very I don't want to say full of themselves, but they have this very nonsense pride.
I've
They
not been from Delta, so I don't know.
oh, let me tell you, they have any person I've seen from Delta, they are very similar. Delta women, they have this self-confidence and
Mm.
they just move. They just move. Any woman I've seen in Germany from Delta, they're not timid. I've not seen a Delta woman who's timid. I don't know what they put in their food, but
Mhm.
they're really like that. And for her, my grandpa was an Ebe, and she would speak his language. She would speak Hausa. She would speak Ga, but at home, you speak her language.
Wow. You're
At
really born
home, and we
into.
were living in Takrady, where people are speaking fancy. She'll speak fancy with outsiders, but in their presence,
Mm.
punebo. Like, mama, punebo. And yeah, it's been part. And then of course with my mom being Ebe as well, my dad being Ebe, being born in Takrady. So now three languages done, and then
Mm.
Chi, and then now Pidgin, English, German. Obviously, it just had to be something with languages.
Yeah.
And the job literally came to me.
Mm.
Like I was just approached, hey, can you speak English? I said, we cannot speak English in today's time. like, oh, we need someone who is really good. I'm like, oh, I can do it.
I can do
I can
that
do it.
easy.
And that's how I started training. And yeah.
Nice. So, what would
Mhm.
you say have been your challenges so far professionally?
I think my challenges so far have been me thinking racism is going to be a barrier to me. So I always say that if you internalize racism, you hurt yourself,
Hmm.
you limit yourself.
Yeah.
And the moment I told myself that even in Ghana, there are tribalistic people, even Nigerians and Ghanaians, because I'm quote Nigerian, I know what Nigerians say about Ghanaians. I know what Ghanaians say about Nigerians because I hear what they say all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm literally in the middle.
Hmm.
I know, okay, I don't know what Ghanaian ever say about Togolese ever. Togolese ever literally don't care about anybody. They just want to live their lives. But I know what goes on. So for me, I told myself, no matter where you go to, Phoebe, there'll be somebody who will not like you because
Yep.
of things you can't even influence.
Yep. Definitely.
And one thing that I noticed, my me being in Germany, and I noticed that my job opened my eyes to is that if you are the best at what you do, even your hater would have to give you money for what you do. Yes, because if they can't work around you, they have to
Mhm.
come to you.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I learned. And it was a personal challenge. Of course, it's not my fault. It's what has been taught to me or what I have experienced, but I had to rise above it. And, um, being told things like, especially, I stopped wearing wigs, for example, also as being a black woman in Germany, because you didn't want to, the word is nicht auffallen. You don't want to be seen in a strange way. No, 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 my dear. You'll see me in the strange way and you'll be fine.
You
No,
will
but
be
it's
fine.
true. You will be fine. Because why should I? Because when you take off
Let me
this
put
wig after a
myself in
day.
the box. No.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, those were things for me. It was more like the social things because with the job, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm quite good. I'm not quite.
You were good.
I do
Give
go.
yourself credit, girl. Give yourself credit. Blow your horns.
I beg. I shut the place down.
Blow your trumpet. Because I actually worked once as a Dalmatian, and
Mhm.
that shit is not easy.
It's
It's
not.
not easy. No, it's not easy. Like for you doing it full time, big respect. Trust me.
I remember yesterday, I asked someone, "Do you want English or pidgin?" He said, "You fit talk pidgin." I
Hey.
said because I do work suit.
Ah,
Not
hey.
because of suit. And he said, "No."
Oh,
I said, "Okay, which one do you feel comfortable with?" No man, I did pidgin. I said, "Let's do
let's
pidgin."
go. Let's
After
go.
that, he said, "Phoebe." No, he said, I said, "Madam, thank you so much. I really appreciate. I
Oh.
really appreciate." It was not like the first time
Mhm.
because um I've seen that though you come to court, you are tense at everything. If you don't feel like you are being understood and you understand what is going on, it's heightens that
Yeah.
nervous
Yeah.
feeling that you
Yeah.
have and
It's
your
true.
security that you have within
Yeah.
yourself. So I try to make sure that they know that I'm going to carry them through it. Even sometimes when it's a lot going on, I have to take notes and
Mm.
relay everything. And it's for me,
Genuine.
it's fun as well. But mainly, I want both sides to have all the information that has been shared in that sitting.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's rewarding.
just having the memory again. I beg. I'm not sure I want to do that job again for real.
It's fun. Oh, but I think it's
I
fun.
mean, it was fun while it lasted, but thinking about it now, it's not something I want to do again. Trust me. Regarding the school system right now, what advice would you have to give fellow immigrants who are worried about raising their kids here or making a family reunion for their kids to move to Germany? Like, what would you have to say to them?
Number one, start now. So if your kids are still outside Germany, start the process now because it can take 1, 2, 3 years before they can join you. So start now. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Well, obviously, you have to qualify for that, but Don't think I have to wait till I'm earning 3K. No. Start now, okay? Because there are things in place that would also help families who are not high earners. All
Yeah.
right? Just start now, because the best thing that can happen to a child is a sound home with both loving parents with them. Good. Now I've said something. Both of the parents being loving. A lot of our households, African households, are full of hustler parents. And hustler parents do not have their full attention on their children.
Yeah.
And in such a competitive era, or in such a competitive environment, we are already lacking when we come here as imported children. I always call us in the imported children. We are lacking and lagging behind because language. There's some things like the way in Africa we have our own rain, rain, go away, come and go another day. They have it in German, but we don't know that one. Okay, this is what they grow up on. And we grew up on something different. So when you come here, you're always going to be the odd one out. So we need extra love and care at home.
Yeah.
So as I'm saying, start now. Ask yourself, when my child comes, can I provide all these for my
You
child?
have time for that child.
Training a child in Germany is very, very time, money, and how do I say it? It just involves a lot.
Emotions as well. You
It's
have to be
better for
prepared
you to
for
invest in your
emotions.
child's football practice, piano lessons, swimming lessons, than having to pay for their rehab later. You have to have all these extracurricular activities because this is the society they find themselves in.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not everything that is money. That's why I said there are things in place for lower income families.
Yeah.
But it is up to you, the parents, to find these things out and give it to your child. And another thing that you have to prepare is the language. How good is your own German, I beg?
Sehr
It is not
wichtig.
your child who is coming here to read letters for you.
Sehr
Stop
wichtig.
that.
Sehr, sehr wichtig.
And
A lot of people. Yeah.
that makes me so emotional because kids are supposed to stay kids. Okay. And then they don't just leave it at their kids reading their own letters with all the pride. Auntie Jessica, bring your own. My daughter will read it for you.
Ah. Eh.
Ah, Uncle Timothy, bring it. My daughter will read it for you.
Echt?
There are people who would loan you their children to take to Behörde at Dolmetscher für den Tag.
No
Yes.
way.
Yes, we. You're looking at one right now. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, they'll give me go to my mom. Can you talk to Phoebe to accompany me? Because, and that's when I was like maybe 17, 18. My mom would ask me to accompany them. Because without you speaking the German for them, they are lost. Okay. So, and probably even have younger children. And it continued until I started working as an interpreter. I realized that, what I'm doing is community interpreting for free. No. When I started charging, all this stopped.
Definitely.
All of it
Definitely.
stopped. So once you start charging, it stops.
Yeah, it's
But
just
how many kids at 15, 16 would have that mindset? So before you bring your child, also make sure that you are sound in this environment that you are in. It's just one of the barest minimums you can do.
it's very important,
And
really.
the next thing is the family of hustlers. Ask yourself, that house that you want to build back home, who will stay in it?
Very valid question. Because
Who
do the
will
children
stay in
will the
that
children
house?
eventually really go home at the end of the day?
Listen, we are seeing NSAS. We are seeing free the citizens for Ghana since this weekend. And if you're a child who goes to Ghana, later by the time you are paying for things with your own money and you see how the exchange rate is just crazy, you start thinking about whether you really want to go back and start a business. You really ask yourself that, like, I think, Kelechi, you've asked yourself this as well. Would because I wanted to start a business in Ghana forever I wanted to. But I came back 2021, so I said,
Do I really want
how?
to do this? Do I really want
How?
to do this?
And then also leaving the economic aspect aside, your children have grown up here, and as I was telling you earlier about how I treat culture as a buffet,
Mm.
they are also doing similar.
Yeah.
Okay, they question things more, and as they're questioning things, they are redefining stuff for themselves. Respect for them is not fear anymore. Respect for them is truly reciprocal.
Yeah.
Respect for them is not something that is automatic because you are older. You have to earn
You have to
it.
earn it. Exactly. You should earn it.
Yes. And so, such a child in the African context is going to have a hard time. Not her fault, because I think that what the child is doing is correct, honestly. But Africans wouldn't understand that. Because tell me, in Ghana, for example, they'll tell you don't give someone something with the left hand. Because in Ghana, the left hand is the one for wiping your butt.
Mm.
So you always use the right hand.
Mm.
Now, in Germany, once you wipe your butt, you wash your hands with soap and water. So for the child, they're equally clean
Yeah,
or
both
equally
hands.
dirty.
Both hands are equal. Come on.
Exactly. So to whether you are fit, right?
Mm.
Financially, emotionally, are you fit with socially, like integrated into the system?
Knowing the
Because there
system.
are things, yes, because there are things that are normal in Germany that are not normal to you as an African parent.
Yeah.
And there are things that are normal in Germany that your kids will be seeing in the German schools from other kids. That's why I was talking about swimming classes, like these extracurricular activities.
Mm.
There are things that kids do with their parents. They go hiking on weekends. They go biking on weekends, bike riding, everything. Are you ready to invest this time? So that every time you go to church on Sunday, you stay there till 5 p.m., you come back, you eat with all of you be watching Hollywood and sleep. You are not really engaging your
Yeah,
child.
that's true. Yeah.
In Nigeria, it's fine because that is the norm in Nigeria. Child will not feel out of place.
But
But here, your child will feel out of place,
yeah.
and that is not fair to the child.
Yeah.
The next thing is there'll be questions. For example, in Germany, things like LGBTQ. What is your stance on it?
Mm.
You don't shout at your child because they ask that. It doesn't mean your child is going to become a lesbian or a gay person. But you have to also ask
Educate them.
yourself,
Yeah.
how do I stand on these things? And how do I convey that to my child in a loving way that my child is also loving to everyone without being discriminatory? Okay. All these things. I remember one of my friends, her mom was asked, what would she do for German citizenship? Okay. They asked her, what would she do if her daughter married a Muslim? She said, my daughter had no business marrying a Muslim.
Okay.
And she was denied.
Really.
She was denied the German passport. Why? You cannot
Not
discriminate anybody
discrimination.
based on their race. That's
Yeah,
Article
religion.
3, Paragraph 1 of the German Constitution. We are all equal. And these are the things that they teach you on Leben in Deutschland and the
Mm.
Rechtsordnung in Deutschland. All these, that's what they mean. That you respect the next person. If the person does not respect you, know where to go, to the police. All these things. Ask yourself, are you ready? And always make sure that you're not living in a parallel society to the German society. Because when you do that, you miss out on a lot.
So what do you mean by living in a parallel society?
By living in a parallel society, you are not involved in what is going on in Germany. You don't watch
Not
the German
integrated
news.
as that. Mm.
You don't speak the German language. You are just in your own bubble. So, and it's easy when you have only people from your community back home. So if you're Nigerian, you go to Nigerian church, Adeboye church, you finish, you come home, you go to the African shop, everything. So there's nothing really that causes you to,
Nothing is linking you to them who like the owners of
yes,
the country where you find yourself in. Yeah.
yes. And it happens to a lot of the Americans who are stationed here. Because for them, they have their commissary, they have their everything is on their barracks. They do their groceries, everything. They even buy gas on post. So they are really living a parallel thing. But for you that you are buying at Shell, you are buying at Eni, you are buying at Agip, you're come.
Yeah.
And they really think that they can get by with their 2x4 German.
No, you didn't just call it that.
And now that's what we say in Ghana. 2x4 meaning it's very little.
It's not. Yeah, the thing is, I was actually watching a video today on YouTube, and I didn't grab exactly the words of this person, but the guy was like, the person who made the video was trying to say that you can survive in Germany without language, and then there were several comments from Germans saying definitely Germany today you can get by, you can survive without Germany, but then you can't scratch beyond the ceiling of the
A
roof.
certain
You're
yes,
stuck right in that room. You don't know what's
yes,
going on. And
yes.
I actually
And
look at sorry, you can speak.
yeah, no, you finish, and
Yeah. I
I'll say
actually
what I
look
say.
at people, immigrants who come here and then they go like, I don't need the language. I don't need the language. I don't need the language. And then 10 years down the line, they're regretting it. They're asking themselves, like, what have I really done to myself? You know? So I'm tired of sounding like a broken record now, but I always sing it on my channel. Any opportunity I get, go and learn this language. You will have yourself to thank. In fact, your children will thank you because
Yes,
the kind of parent that you should be for your child here in Germany, not just in Germany generally, in a foreign land, even in your country, you should be that kind of
mhm.
parent that can stand up for your child.
Yes,
In
yes.
Nigeria,
I
I
talked
feel
about this on my recent video. I said that. And when I first came to Germany, you asked me the question, how was it as an immigrant? I told you we're the only ones, okay? I'm even just talking about societal thing. I'll talk about the emotional aspects maybe later when we do another video because now we're really far gone. But
yeah.
when I first came, when a store was doing their sales and clearance, you never saw sale. It was immer reduziert. Sommerschlussverkauf, Winterschlussverkauf. But these days people say sale,
Same.
reduce, sale, and you think you have arrived. And then I have a lot of Nigerians and Ghanaians telling me Germany has to have more English. They are
But
a first world country. They want skilled workers. I'm like, go to Czech Republic. They are our neighbors. Go to. I'm just coming back from Austria this weekend. Go to Austria. Go to Italy. They don't care about you if you can't speak the. I mean, even in Italy, the Italian word for Germany is Germania. German is in there. Even the German name for Deutsch, Deutschland, the German land, my dear. There's no way. I get so emotional about this. And I make it a joke. If you don't learn German, pay me, I'll speak it for you. But I am not cheap.
it's that
Pay
simple.
me, I'll speak it for you.
Simple.
It's simple. But I don't know how else to put it. The language, it's like if I come to Nigeria now, okay, yes, I speak Pidgin, I speak a little bit of Igbo. But if I should go to a place where it's just a Yoruba land, let me say I go to Ibadan, in a very remote village there, do you think Pidgin would even take me far?
Definitely
No.
not. Because
I
you
have to
turn your
speak
right,
Ibadan. I have to
turn your
speak
right, and
Yoruba.
you speak it. Ah, no, you can't. You can't get by easily. Like
Yes.
every other day. No.
And even it takes away this pressure of race. As you said, you have to be able to stand for your child. When I go to different parts of Ghana, when I went to the northern parts of Ghana, they have different dialects, they have different languages. I always wanted to know what they were saying, but it's natural for them to speak their language with each other, because when they know themselves. Not
Yeah,
because today
no.
you are here, they will all be speaking English with you. No, but they expect that. And I tell them that maybe your grades will be so good that they cannot do without you. They would employ you. But for the company or for the atmosphere within among the employees, they might even not want to employ you.
Yeah, you feel very
They
off.
will milk you and let you go
True that.
because everybody here they studied in German, or not everybody. Some of them their masters are in English and everything, but wir sind immer noch in Deutschland, mein Gott. Also,
Yeah, like I don't know how else to explain to my fellow immigrants like on this social media,
I've
but
been saying it too.
it's
I say it on my
it's
channel the
painful.
whole time. Like, if you go to my channel now, people ask me tips to survive in Germany. Learn the language. Learning the language, food, and having one or two German contact is going to change your life
Definitely,
in
I'm
Germany.
a testimony of that for real. Like
Okay. Oh.
even though for the food, I'm not like my taste buds are very selective, so I don't just jump right into German foods. We have a friend,
Mhm.
an old lady friend. We try out
Okay.
new German dishes like in her house.
Just eat cake, you'll be fine.
Funny enough,
No,
not
but
even a
that's how I
fan.
got in.
Oh really? Okay.
Yes. If I bake German cake for you,
Okay.
and
Like
make
all
one bad
them.
ass coffee
Wait,
to join.
hold on. Is it the ones with cream fillings or fruits and all that? Like
Ah, my dear. I can make Mondkuchen. I make Mondkuchen. I put sahne, then I put strawberries on top. I'll send you pictures later. I can make Schokokuchen, Marmorkuchen. I just love cakes. Even I don't cross this. I can make tiramisu these days. I don't be small
Oh,
picking.
oh, wow.
Because I'm a foodie. But um as I told you earlier, I took parts of the culture that I like,
Mm,
okay, and I made it mine. So in Germany or in southern Germany, there's what we call cafe kuchen. So Sundays, usually families would meet. They invite you for coffee. So naturally, when they invite you for coffee, it's normally not just coffee. The lady of the house has other things to go with the coffee. So be
mm,
it the cake or different pastries, but
mm,
usually sweet pastries that go with
mhm,
the cake. And it's just time for you to bond as a family or as guests or whatever and talk. So if somebody invites you for coffee, don't go expecting a warm meal. It's coffee and cake.
mm, mm.
And I really like that because you see different kinds of fruits being mixed in these cakes and just I loved it.
Yeah.
That's another part of German culture that I really love.
The
If you want to see me in your house, cafe kuchen. Even if I don't know you, I'll know you. I'll be there.
That's interesting. For I'm not even the cafe person, but if I'm
Or you can
invited,
drink tea. That's fine.
yeah, yeah,
They serve tea and coffee. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you can drink tea. That's fine.
Yeah, I
So yeah.
think we've come to the end of this video today. It has really lasted a
Shade.
while, yeah, but it was definitely very insightful. And best believe I'm going to drag you back here again some other time.
No, next time you come to my house, you come
Oh
to
yeah,
my channel. I say now I've been to your house. You come to my
definitely.
channel.
Yes, with all pleasure.
Yes,
Yeah. All right. Thank
yes.
you so much for being a part of this, Phoebe. Really
You're
appreciate
most
you and
welcome,
appreciate
Kenichi.
your contribution. And you guys, you've heard it like the very last thing she said. If you are sure that you want to have kids in Germany and you don't know the system, you don't know the language, you don't know how things work besides your 9 to 5. Sorry, easy on
And
you.
your house in Inewi.
Oh, come on. Come on. Multiple people collecting stray bullet anyhow from you this afternoon.
Okay. Your house in Agbo. Let me say Agbo now so that Delta people will also see that I've mentioned it. Yes. You
All
know,
right.
calm down with the distractions. Your children need you more.
Yeah, yeah. Not thinking about it. We'll talk more on that later on
Yeah.
in another video. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much. If you watched up to this point, you know you're an OG. Thank you so much,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see you in another video. Bis dann.
Yes.
Ciao. Cheers.
Ciao.